So, this was taped last week, but the best way to keep the crowd energy up, they sent out Hook! Anyway, I'm John Renton with my review of AEW Rampage from Miami, Florida, taped last week, and I gotta say, even though there were a couple issues I had on this particular episode of AEW Rampage, this was pretty goddamn good. A couple really good matches, and one that I had questions about. Anyway, let me know your thoughts on this show in the comments, please. One thing that I was really questioning is why they let the sack of shit that is Chris Jericho, that used to actually be a pretty damn good wrestler, pretty damn good promo. He's doing really bad screaming old man yells at clouds because he couldn't be there on January 6th like his wife and mother-in-law were at the insurrection attempt. Jericho. I don't understand why Jericho is being the old man that yells at clouds, basically is what I'm saying. So anyway, Excalibur, Taz, and Ricky Starks were on commentary, and Jericho was just screaming over everybody. And at first, again, it was entertaining. Now it's not. So we have Orange Cassidy with Chuck Taylor. You know, Chuck Taylor, who isn't really all that useful in all honesty. Taking on Hobbs with Hook! So, they decided to send Hook! Okay, I'm going to stop doing that eventually. But it's just too funny. The way Shivani said that all the way back in March, I can't unhear it. Because now they're sending Hook. They're sending Hook! So, moving on from that. World title eliminator, I almost said qualifier match. Quarterfinal match. Because there are only 8 people in this tournament. You know, if they had started this a few weeks ago, they might have been able to include 16 people. Could have had a little more parity. But then again, given the 8 people they chose for this, maybe it's a good thing they only went with 8. And also, they're only a couple weeks away from, you know, being there at full gear. Hook! So, Matt Hardy was in the front row. Great. Good. I want to see Matt Hardy on my television more, is apparently what AEW fans are saying, or maybe just because they're paying him way more money than he's fucking worth in 2021, they decide, hey, we'll just put Matt Hardy in a feud that nobody cares about, i.e. all of them since he has been there in AEW. Look, there are some people that I respect, and good on him. I mean, he's fielding a goddamn football team in his household, so yeah, he probably needs money, even though I'm sure he saved his money. Hopefully he did. There is no reason for Matt Hardy to be in anything other than a managerial role, in an advisor role, a coach role, whatever, in 2021. He can't fucking go anymore. Jeff can't fucking go. But back to this. Hobbs gloms him and uses his power, a lot of powerhouse moves. Don't know why I did the combo breaker. So, we then go to a 90-second ad where Road to the Top, where Brandy is training for an in-ring return that absolutely nobody fucking wants. I hope the kid grows up healthy, but I don't care if Brandy was 28, 30, I don't care if she was 48. She wasn't any good in the goddamn ring. She, went away because she got pregnant, and good on her, and hopefully, again, the kid grows up happy and healthy, and she can just do her stuff backstage with her college education and not be on television anymore. Because nobody wants to see her on television, or very few people do, and definitely nobody would want to see her in the ring unless you want to just see her fuck shit up, because she's not any fucking good. I also have watched very little Road to the Top because I just can't fucking take reality TV. I don't watch Ms. and Mrs. because I hate it. And this is a discount Ms. and Mrs. You know how hard you have to try to be a discount Ms. and Mrs.? That's really hard to say. Back to the match. Hobbs keeps powering him, powerhousing him over, and then keeps throwing him in the corner, and the referee keeps getting in his face, and it's like, hey, get out of the corner, get out of the corner, get out of the corner, and eventually Hobbs puts his hands on the ref. You're not supposed to do that. Maybe he's going to get, DQ'd. No, he's not, because thanks to Hook, he managed to not have any more issues, but then, unfortunately, they did the one thing that they didn't need to fucking do. They had Orange Cassidy roll Hobbs up in such a convoluted, ridiculous way. And I'm nothing against Orange Cassidy as far as his ability, but he managed to get the victory with the most devastating maneuver in all professional wrestling. A surprise roll-up, 1, 2, 3. I'm not saying that Hobbs should have won the tournament, but really, does anybody... If you want to see Orange Cassidy go far in the tournament, that's fine. Is there really a need for Orange Cassidy versus Jon Moxley to happen? Moxley versus... Because there's no way 10 is beating Moxley, all due respect to 10. I hate to say it, Moxley versus Hobbs probably would have been better. Yeah, I know that Moxley laid out Wheeler Yuta in really quick fashion. I'm very surprised they did that. Nothing against Wheeler Yuta, but I'm like, he didn't get anything in? Just sorry, Orange Cassidy versus Jon Moxley doesn't really appeal to me. And oh, by the way, tomorrow is a special Saturday Night Dynamite. WCW Saturday Night returns. Hooray! I will be watching that live because I'm off in enough time on Saturdays. And then they go back to Wednesdays starting next week, which means I will be watching it on delay, so I apologize. Hook! So Shivani is interviewing Penta and Alex. They barely get any words out before they see people in the crowd that are dressed up like the Mighty Morphin Frogger Rangers that turned out to be FTR. And then FTR glom them instantly. Phoenix is, people say, oh, he's actually injured. No, if you remember last week, even though this was taped the same night, they did an injury angle. And then it was their way of writing Phoenix off just for a bit so FTR could glom Penta, beat up Alex. Pac showed up because, they're part of Death Triangle. That group that has such a cool name, and everybody's probably fucking forgot that they're a faction. I know I did. And that's pretty much it. The doctor will see you, meow. And she comes out with Rebel and sweet Jesus, Jamie Hayter, good lord. But Britt getting a big pop. DMD. And she takes on Anna Jay. Number 99, not 69, is a Dark Order. Some people have made that joke, and I certainly would never make any jokes that sick. How dare anybody accuse me of that? Stop trying to type in the comments. Just stop it. I run a clean show here. So, this is a grudge match. In what universe? I have no idea. But, that being said, they went in on the strikes. Lots of fistings, lots of attempts at scissoring from behind, which I love to see in any match, especially a women's match. I'm going to move hastily on from sounding too much like a creep. But they did some really, really good shit here. Anna Jay pretty much had the match of her AEW run. And they're high on Anna. How could you not be? Apologies, by the way. Allergies are a goddamn bitch. She goes for the Queen Slayer that I keep accidentally calling the Queen Slayer because I'm just kind of a dick like that. We get a distraction attempt. Jamie distracting the ref. I mean, can you really blame the ref for being distracted? Another Queen Slayer, but to the ropes. Britt then viciously and violently fingers Anna Jay right in her goddamn mouth and gets the victory, and then tries to do it again. And then Ty, forgetting to put on pants, which there's no complaints here, manages to get out there. Her pockets are hanging out. And this is sounding a whole lot sicker than I planned. But man, when your pockets are hanging out, you have a short shelf life before somebody decides to just target your hanging loose pockets. So, I guess they're going with Ty versus Britt Baker at Full Gear. So, of course, Jericho said, screaming Portuguese from Brazil. Okay. Don't really get that, but whatever. Dynamite tomorrow. Bryan versus Dustin. Eddie versus Archer in World Title Eliminator quarterfinal matches. Black versus Cody 3. And Jungle Boy versus Brandon Cutler. Let me tell you right now, if that match goes more than 3 fucking minutes, they're doing a disservice to Jungle Boy. Cutler, he can work fine. I hate the comedy. So, TBS Women's Bracket. Anna Jay versus Jamie Hayter. Bunny versus Velvet. Dee versus Sheeta. Ford versus Soho. Rose, Rosa, Jade, and Statlander, because they're ranked in the top 5, all get first round buys. Okay, they didn't do a 16-woman tournament. I'm a little bit surprised by that, in all honesty. But you know what? It is what it is. Are they going to hotshot this thing and have it happen? I think they're going to hotshot and have it happen at Full Gear. They're going to load that goddamn thing up with championships. And then Ford versus Soho has been added to Dynamite. All right. Dynamite on 27th. Dee versus Sheeta and 10 versus Moxley to finish up the World Title Eliminator, quarterfinal matches. Rampage, more World Title action, basically, whoever advances to the semifinals. Pac and Andrade do the split screen stuff. Thankfully, Shivani's doing this because they probably realize that Henry's really not all that good at it. Andrade with G.I. Jose taking on Pac. Good match. Really, really good match. This was the kind of shit that Andrade could have been doing for a few years after he got called up from NXT. And they really didn't let him do all that much. And occasionally, even when he could have a really good TV match, it would leave him off after that. And I know the pandemic kind of put a dent into a lot of plans. And seriously, you couldn't have found more shit for Andrade to do. You can cut this titchin with a knife. Just cut it with a knife. Cut the tits right off. Ouch. And Pac dives early. We get Bastard Chance. He focused with kicks and a sleeper. Andrade hitting a twisting tornado over the top. And then he takes over. Andrade hits the floor after hitting the goddamn apron when he tried to do a slingshot leg drop. And then There's some good stuff, nice moonsault outside. This got a bit messy, though, because I think Andrade really did hurt his back. So, hopefully he's all right. But apron battle, we get an Eye of the Storm on the apron, and then we get an apron DDT. I don't know why they continue to do apron spots. Anyway, I think it's fucking dangerous. Well, he crotched himself on the ropes, so no kids for Charlotte, unless, he waits about, 6 to 9 months. Nice. And then a big brain buster off the top, and boo, yay, boo, yay, boo, yay. Inside cradle for 3. That was quick. Oh shit. Lights out. What the hell? It's Malachi Black. Malachi! And then he's just staring. I faced you before. Hey, Pac, missed. Actually, him and Andrade had a pretty good match. I believe it was TakeOver 2018. TakeOver New Orleans? I think it was TakeOver New Orleans. But anyway, he missed, Pac. And then Arn comes down and, pulls out his Glock and just fires at Andrade in a visual sense, not literally. And then Cody runs down and gets a bit of a pop, but then is also getting some... I don't know why they're insisting on keeping Cody as a babyface. When Malachi loses tomorrow, this is going to dent him a lot because Cody really doesn't need to beat Malachi. You know why? Because nobody really needs to see Cody getting any kind of big wins because Cody really isn't the superstar or the wrestler he thinks he is. He's not bad, but he's not his dad even now. That being said, though, pretty good episode of AEW Rampage. Anyway, agree, disagree, what I said, like, share, subscribe, Twitter handle in the description. I'm John Retlin. I'll see you soon.